Apparently this is a taboo mentality to have, but I'm not a complete moron. I can double task. I condemn hate, I condemn violence, I condemn bigotry, I condemn white supremacy and neo-Nazism. I think it's disgusting and completely pathetic. When somebody dies at a protest, I blame the person who killed the other person. I agree with the public. That's unacceptable. But once again, I'm not a complete moron. I know something was fishy with the Charlottesville event. All I ask you to do is watch this video and at bare minimum, consider it. There are multiple sketchy things that happened the last few weeks. First one is that many reports around Charlottesville said that the police were told to stand down and that they were standing down. Even the ACLU, who hates Trump and has sued Donald Trump, said that the police weren't helping, they were just standing there, watching people fight each other and watching the fight escalate. Once again, relax, double task people. Neo-Nazis, white supremacists, terrible bad people. Reality? We can't ignore it. So if that happened, then why is Snopes lying, citing one conspiracy news website? I guess they don't want to tell their audience that the ACLU, who hates and sues Donald Trump, actually said the same exact thing. This is not the first time I caught Snopes twisting reality. They do it all the time. Now let's move on to a couple days later. There was a big report out that somebody was trying to plant bombs in Oklahoma City. A right-wing activist. It was a huge story, and then it completely disappeared. Maybe this is why it disappeared.
Now, if you remember, just 7 days ago, there was news headlines all around the country saying that the FBI thwarted a right-wing terrorist attack that was supposed to blow up a bank building in Oklahoma City.
Jerry Varnell was arrested Saturday by the FBI following an undercover operation. Agents say he tried to detonate what he believed was an explosive-filled van that he parked outside a bank in downtown Oklahoma City. The federal complaint says Varnell originally planned to blow up the Federal Reserve Bank in the nation's capital.
Now, that seems like a very open and shut case. The guy drove a truck filled with what he thought was explosives near a bank building, and the FBI was able to stop him. And yet, like we hear every week, the FBI thwarted and stopped a major terrorist attack and saved lives, right? Well, no, not really. Because if you look at the merits of this case, the details are extremely disturbing and you need to know about them. As we're finding out from the parents of this main suspect in this case, caught the FBI forcing this suspect who was mentally ill to be a right-wing terrorist. The suspect was severely mentally disabled, and the FBI, knowing about this, groomed him and created this situation that we all heard about 7 days ago. The parents of this suspect came out and said, quote, "However, what truly has us flabbergasted is the fact that the FBI knew he was schizophrenic. The state of Oklahoma found him mentally incompetent, and we, his parents, have legal guardianship over him by the courts. These documents are sealed from the public, which is why no news media outlet has been able to obtain them. The FBI clearly knew that he was a schizophrenic because they have gathered every ounce of information on him, yet they still knowingly continued to groom him despite the clear immoral implication."
That's crazy and widely underreported. Why does that seem familiar? I remember last year during the election, Democratic Party operatives and people that have reportedly visited the White House hundreds of times under Barack Obama's administration were caught on a hidden camera admitting that they paid mentally ill people to go to Donald Trump rallies to start violence so they can frame the media violence. Don't believe me? Watch for yourself.
What I call it is conflict engagement.
Mm-hmm. That's your version of re-enfranchisement.
Conflict engagement in the lines at Trump rallies. We're starting anarchy here.
No, I'm saying we have mentally ill people that we pay to do shit. Make no mistake.
If you're there and you're protesting and you do these actions, you will be attacked at Trump rallies. That's what we know.
So that's part of the process of eliciting the reaction.
The whole point of it is we know that Trump's people will freak the fuck out. His security team will freak out, and his supporters will lose their shit.
This is Scott Fovel. He is the National Field Director for Americans United for Change. He used to work for People for the American Way, an organization funded by George Soros. He also has his own company called the Fovel Group. He is one of the dark operatives for the Clinton campaign.
We are contracted directly with the DNC and the campaign, both.
Yeah.
I am contracted to him, but I answer to the head of special events for the DNC and the head of the special events and political for the campaign.
There's a script. Okay.
The script of engagement. Sometimes the crazies bite, and sometimes the crazies don't bite. They're starting confrontations in the line, right? They're not starting confrontations
The volunteers.
in the rally, because once they're inside the rally, they're under Secret Service's control. When they're outside the rally,
They're more affected out. They're harder to get in.
the media will cover it no matter where it happens.
So this is multiple times in the last year alone. That's crazy. I'm not right wing. I'm not conservative, but this is why I make these videos. There's something really strange and really sinister going on. If there's so much violence at Trump rallies, then why do you have to pay mentally ill people to start more violence? If right-wing people are so bad, then why do you have to pay mentally ill people to pretend to be right-wing people to start violence? I know terrible and ignorant people exist. I'm not making excuses for them, and I'm not pretending like these type of people don't exist. I know they do. I condemn them, and I want to see people be kinder to each other. But given the reality of what I just said, could Charlottesville possibly have been completely staged? Given what I just said and the facts and reality that I just showed you, listen to what this guy has to say.
Why would buses line up in the same place and drop people off? Some of the people got on Black Lives Matter shirts and some people got on KKK shirts. Now, when have you ever seen someone with a KKK shirt? Now, we know we see people with Black Lives Matter shirts, but when have you ever seen someone in the KKK shirt? And then why would, look, she said these buses were bumper to bumper, dropped everybody off and took off. All the buses were the same. It was well orchestrated. Now, hey, I don't want to get missing after this. All right? But I'm being honest on this, y'all. Back to back. Think now, think, share this. Think and share this video. This was all set up. You understand? The whole thing. First of all, you're not going to have on a KKK t-shirt and you're not going to have on a Black Lives Matter t-shirt getting off the same brand of buses parked back to back. We're talking about bumper to bumper, not in the same area, bumper to bumper.
Could it have been real racist and real neo-Nazi and white supremacist people defending a statue? Absolutely. I'm not ruling out either or promoting either or. Once again, I'm just not a complete moron. I'm sorry. It's also important to note many groups, including the Democratic Party, are seeing massive fundraising after Charlottesville. They're using and exploiting this tragedy for personal financial gain. I see billboards in my city already trying to capitalize on all of this nonsense. I'm not falling for it, and neither should you. At the end of the day, one president, one group, or one man is not going to change the world for the better. It's going to be all of us. It's going to be every race, religion, gender, and country. The collective consciousness, the collective soul, the collective initiative to make the world a better and more moral place. Let's stop looking towards politicians or news sources to tell us how to be happy and healthy. Let's bring the love and prosperity back to our own communities. Let's look in the mirror and be the change that we want to see in the world. That's how we're going to change the world. It's going to be all of us. Much love. God bless you and your family. And let's learn to multitask, or else we're going to keep getting played by politicians and the media.